He's a fabulous, forgetting the artwork, he's a fabulous storyteller. Now, after saying that, then I'll say the artwork is just as fabulous, because he'll pull me out if I don't. But it's wonderful work, and for those of you that haven't known Grant, I want to just introduce you to him. And Grant's going to take over now, because I've had a few people tell me it's a little warm in here. Yeah. So we're going to move as quickly as possible. Again, thank you all so much for showing up at the gallery tonight. Grant, tell a story.
Well, I want to thank you all for coming. It means a lot to me. I never thought I'd be talking to a group this big, you know, so that's really cool. When I talk to a group, usually it's to raise money. I'm sure I've hit some of you up for money at some point along the way, so I'm not real experienced in what the dialogue is, but I guess it's pretty cool. A dialogue can be anything, right? You know, and so this will be the dialogue, and we'll see how it goes. I also want to thank two other people that made this all happen. The first one is Dick, obviously, who believes in me and believes in my art and saw something in there to warrant his spending any time on it and money and efforts, and he's fully supported and backed me, and I really appreciate that. It means more than I can say. The second person I want to thank is my dog. No, I was teasing. The next person I want to thank is my wife, of course, who I could not have done it without her support. You know, take care of the children while I'm painting and doing the things that I should be doing. You know, she supports me in just about every way possible, and if you look at her painting I did for her, you'll understand it. So I want to thank her. In terms of art, I seem to have been born with an innate attraction to entrepreneurship, plants, and art. Plants all my life, I've been fascinated with growing them, propagating them. You know, my business now at Dunecraft kind of revolves around plants, which brings us to entrepreneurship, obviously a big theme of mine. But art has always been there. Art's always the way I wanted to go. Art's the impractical thing that you have to wait for. And at some point I couldn't wait anymore, and the art started to come out. And the art used to come out in drawings, it came out in packaging, it came out in software, it comes out in advertising, you know, it comes out in photography, which I do a lot of. And finally it came out in, I think it's full form of painting, where I can really and truly express what I'm trying to express. Art's personal and it's drawn from personal experiences, so that by nature then makes it, you know, perspective driven. So my art has my perspective in a lot of it, but I try and take other perspectives too and make commentaries on perspectives, because that's what it all is. Art can be used to make a statement or express an opinion. If you read the stories behind my art, you'll see, you know, there's some story I'm trying to get some point across. I don't know why I want to get the point across, but for some reason I do. And it comes out in the art. What's really unique, though, and what's really different is art's an engaging process of discovery that provides insights to me. You know, when I do an artwork, I set out to paint something, and when it's painted, I look at it and I learn things about that topic I didn't even know I knew. You know, and it's a two-way street, not the one-way street that you typically would think of when you think of art. It's a process of experimentation and growth. It's a process of trial and error and chipping away. Abstract symbolism. My art tells a story, and I type up the story. I include it with the painting. There's two books, one here and one there, that have pictures of all my art with the stories behind them. Kind of explain what they mean. I can tell you too, painting by painting, but we'd be here too long probably. I'm going to start doing free ebooks where I have the paintings and what they mean and distributing them. I think that'd be a good way to communicate what I'm trying to do. I think these things allow you to interpret my paintings over time. If you read a few of them, then you're going to kind of get the gist of what colors mean and patterns and certain things, and you'll be able to kind of read my language. The paintings are abstract and they're symbolic, which is where Dick came up with the name abstract symbolism. I like it, you know. I mean, the father of the abstract symbolism movement. So abstract symbolism, the story is told through symbols in the abstract form. Colors take on meanings, patterns, signify something, and it's possible to learn the language to some degree. That's how I define abstract symbolism. So I'm the father, I get to. I cover things that matter to us and affect us but are not tangible. Rage, democracy, compartmentalization, addiction, consequences, identity, feelings, pain, confusion. For me, the art fills in the gaps between the words. Language is an imperfect thing, and it's got lots of space where other words should have been. And for me, my art helps fill in some of those gaps. I also paint the lives of close friends that have died, and I capture their essence, within one painting. The only live person I've ever painted is my wife. With her painting right there, and you can see it's different from, say, this painting, which is more of like a flat, almost photograph. It's got more dynamic movement in it, because it's a fluid situation. My art provides me with perspective, insight, truth, and peace. That's why I do it. And I hope that it gives you a feeling that moves you, a story you can share, and a perspective to consider. So that's it, that's a dialogue. Thanks again for coming, I most appreciate it. I'm open to commissions. Not like a tip, but if you want me to paint your life or your situation or someone you hate, I'd be happy to do that painting for you. And Dick would be happy to talk to you about the details. And we want to make sure we get a Q&A type session, so if there's any questions you want to ask me in the group format, I'll be happy to answer them. If there's any you want to ask in a non-group format, I'll be here till at least 9. So are there any questions?
Hey Grant, God bless Bobby Brown, he's here with you.
Bobby Walker?
Bobby Walker, yes.
Yes, he is. That's his painting right there.
How did you actually start, like that very first time? Did you have the materials? Did you just pick up a brush in that room, I've been to your house, and just start painting one day?
Well, I've been acquiring the materials for 10 years. I always planned on painting, I'd buy more paint, buy more brushes, more canvases, but it never happened. And then when I quit drinking alcohol, strangely enough, all these paintings started to pour out of me. And I don't know. I mean, I'm all for drinking. I think it's great. But, for me, apparently it blocked the ability to paint. And it had been going in my head, I think, for years. Because they still just flow on. I could paint for 24/7 and not run out of ideas. But, it's been a great gift. So really I gained something and didn't lose something. And you can ask Laura, I went from like just buying paint supplies to painting, 10, 20 hours a week. Just like that one day. About 2 weeks after I stopped.
Grant, can you talk to us a little bit about how much thought, time, and effort goes into making each of your amazing works of art?
Well, they probably take anywhere from like 15 to 40 hours. I usually work on a few at once, 2 or 3, so I'll get done a few a month, if it's a good month. If not, a few every 6 weeks or 2 months, And I do just fit it in when I can, at night and on the weekends. And in terms of thought, I think about them, but a lot of them are like, I don't know what's next. I know to paint a tree, so I paint the tree. And then I know to paint a mountain, so I paint the mountain. Then I know to paint these shapes and squiggles. And then I start to put it together in my head, what am I doing? And then by the end I know what it is. It's like a process that, I don't sketch out my painting in advance and then know I'm going to put lily pads here and a pine tree here and a broken building and a fire. It just evolves.
Grant, are you painting more than one at the same time, or just one and finishing, just to have an idea?
I usually paint like 3 to 4 at the same time.
That's
The problem is the paint, you put it in there, and then you're finished painting, but you still got all this paint. So that's why I have the other paint. Some practicality in my painting. I just know. It's really weird. Sometimes I don't think it's done. It'll sit there for weeks and I'll say it's not done. And then I'll do one little stupid thing and boom, it's done. You know?
You had some leftover.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that's any, you know, I believe in fate. You know, that paint was fate to go to that painting, you know. Yeah, I just get a feeling like it's done. And then I'm at peace with it and I can like, go hang it up. When it's not done, I just leave it there. I can't move it. Yes.
I was just wondering, which comes first to you, the story behind the painting or the painting and then the story?
On people, it's always the story first. On the concepts, it's about half and half. Sometimes I want to do something on something and I'll start painting it. Other times I'll start painting it and realize what it is. I think it's only I can communicate with my subconscious mind, really, is what it is. You know, I mean, I'm tapping into a part of my brain that normally isn't communicating with my conscious brain. So then the interplay of the two is interesting.
Keep painting.
All right, well, I appreciate, again, for you all for coming. It's amazing. It's unbelievable.
You're amazing.
Right here.